Okay, so now that we are finished with the reference setup, ang susunod na natin ay modeling. Before anything else, sa pagmo-model natin, let's arrange first our viewport layout. Right now, ang layout natin na existing ay 1 and 4. So that means mag-full screen ako sa 1 and then pwede akong mag-collapse back to 4 views. Sa viewport layout, we can change it here. Click ko ito and then I will choose a 2-view layout. Yan, you have some sample layouts there. Then sa 2-view layout ko, I will change this, for example, for the front view. I'll just press F para sa front view siya. I'll press G to turn off the grid, and I'll press F3 and Z so that I can see the whole front view. Next is the front view here. Papalitan ko naman to into perspective, letter P. So in the perspective view, yan. I don't need to turn off the grid because hindi ko naman siya nakikita. Pero I need to turn on the F3, F4 or yung ating tinatawag na view modes so that here I can see the perspective and here is where I can see the reference. Now, when it comes to the reference side, this means I can transfer to the left view or I can transfer to the back view, no, with this. So on the right side or on the left side, I can transfer, right? I can change views with regards to my reference. And dito, I can preview it in perspective mode. Next thing is, first we create or we start the model by creating a box. So I can directly create a box here. And then from there, I will just use the move tool. Shortcut is W. And I will just have this positioned as such. Pagkatapos nun, I have centered it in the 3D space by typing in 0 in the X, Y, Z, UCS slots. Next thing is I will just press Alt X so that I can go see-through mode. Alt X. Alt W to maximize the view. And then I will start positioning my object. Let's say I would like to position the object here. Yan. And there. Position na siya. And then, doon sa ating modify panel, here, no, from after the create, you have the modify panel. Let's name this to base mesh. Let's say this is the original base mesh. And then I will add here in the modifier list, I'll add an edit poly. So see, editable poly, it will now collapse the object. So this means from a whole object, which is a box, in the edit poly mode, the box will now have the following, diba? We will have these vertices and then even the edges. Okay, so that's the idea on that. So now with these present, I can select all. No, I'll turn on the vertex. Shortcut is 1. I'll select it, drag it down there. And then I can also select all of those vertices, press R for the scale and scale along the x-axis. And so that to fit it, no, the crotch level fitting down to the leg area. And then I can go to my edges. I can select the standing edges and I can do a right click in this quad menu on the bottom left. I can choose the connect here, the connect settings here, connect. And then I'll just choose, let's say 3. I want to divide it into 4. So that's why I need 3 connections, the chest, the ribs, the abs, and the pelvic area. So I'll just type in 3. I'll leave the rest 0. I'll press check to apply. That's it. Next is, I will select this time all of the horizontal vertices, lahat ng nakahiga, all of the horizontal vertices. I'll do another right click, I'll do another connect settings, and this time I'll set this only to 1 because I want to divide it into 2. I'll press check and then W. Now I have this. Having this subdivision in the middle, it means the character's body is also now divided into 2. Okay, so with that, I will just do the next thing, which is I will turn on the polygon selection. I will select this half, this one, and then I'll just press delete. In selecting that, so when I press letter L, and I can see the other half here. There. Going back to the front view. There. I'll turn this off. I'll turn off the selection. And then I will add another, before I add a modifier, I will turn on the edit poly, or I will double click it so that I can rename it, or right click rename. And then I will name this, for example, half. So this is my half poly now. Next is I'll add a T for symmetry, or I'll press letter T for symmetry. And there it is. So I'll turn off the z-axis because as you can see, the z-axis, it is symmetrizing by the z. If I turn on the y-axis, it's not showing properly. If I turn on x-axis, there. So the symmetry is happening on the sides or x-axis. Next thing is, I will click the half poly once more, and on top of it, so this is what I'll do. I'll click the half poly, I'll go to the modifier list and add a new edit poly. Yeah. The edit poly will now be on top of the half poly, right? So this means I can do my editings on this edit poly, the one on top of the half poly. I am doing this so that, for example, if ever I made corrections or if ever I made errors, nagkamali ako, things like that, I can easily delete the edit poly, right click and delete it, and my half poly is saved from those designs. Diba? So that's how important your edit poly is. So I'll just once more select the half poly, put on top the edit poly, and then I'll proceed with my modeling. So now that you have a symmetry on top, at the topmost, this means the effects of the symmetry will be followed by all those that are under it. So lahat ng nasa ilalim affected by the symmetry. Everyone underneath. So I'll just select this. I'll use the move tool, as you can see here. I'll select this. I'll drag it up. So as I push from one side, the symmetry reacts accordingly. Okay? So you are going to be just doing half of the work here. See? I can just drag this. Easy as that. There. Then for the pelvic area, I'll select this and drag it inwards like so. So now, so far, this is okay. I will go this time to the side view or the left view. So because in the left view, this is what I also see. I'll just arrange it once more accordingly to my reference. And And right now, I will not be concerned of being too precise. I will just summarize it slowly. Just wherever the line falls with these vertices, that will be fine. So by now, you're able to create a body, or let's say we have created the body base for it. Next thing, I will go here. Sorry. I'll go to my edit poly. And then this is just to be sure. I can right click here and name it, let's say, body underscore. Let's say this is going to be 01. This is the first level of the body. No? So that it is going to be saved there. I'll go to my, again, while having the body selected, no selection is active. I am selecting it as an object. I'll go on top of it, add edit poly once more. So this means I will work on, let's say, the legs. I'll select this leg. And then I can hold shift and extrude it down. No? Or I can just right click and choose extrude settings. Adjust it manually. So there's a difference between the two. The extrude manual and the extrude settings. So this is what I will do with this. I'll just select the vertices and the other one. I will also select the two of them. Press R. Scale them along only the y-axis. Scaling along the y-axis. W. I'll just drag this. And then this one. Just arranging it. There. Doing this, I'll just Control S to save my work and continue going back to the polygon selection, then shift click drag. Oops, sorry. I still have my selection active, so I can shift click and drag, so it will appear like that. So just a little here, a little movement. For polygon selection, that's the shortcut for it. Hold shift, click and drag. There it is. One for vertices. Drag it inwards. Polygon selection. So now, the knees. So in doing polygons for the knees, we have to anticipate animation also. So in anticipating the animation or movement of this, oops, I'll go to my side view. And this is where I will encounter, let's say, not really a problem, but a situation wherein the polygon doesn't look regular, or it's unfamiliar looking. So it's supposed to be flat and straight lined. So what I will do is like this. I will go for my vertices, and then I will select all of these. Press R for the scale, and then X, or scale along the X-axis. After I have done so, I'll do the same to the front vertices. there. Then W. I can, for example, if you're having difficulties, nahihirapan na kayong makita ang ating reference, I can turn off the symmetry. Yan, so that I can easily move along with it. Now for the knees, I'll go for my polygon selection, hold shift, drag it down. Now let's say I will use here 3 extrusions or subdivisions, no, so that it would bend, no, so it would easily bend and we will not have any problems with it in the future or when we do rigging and skinning. So let's say here I hold shift and do another. Let's keep it that there. Hold shift. Vertices. So I'll just select this there. Polygon. Shift, click and drag. Careful. And then here, polygon here. Saving work. Oops. And then down, shift click drag. I'll type in 0 here so that it will be exactly on the ground, no, in regards to the UCS. Hmm? And then with that, I'll go to the front view and I'll start arranging the vertices a little in accordance to the reference. Now I'll go to the left view, polygon, select, deselect, deselect, shift click drag. Front a little. Let me just drag this. this, and then I'll just drag it a little like that. Saving work. So this edit poly, where I have modeled the legs, as you can see, right? So your polygons are safe whenever you do the modelings by stack. They are separated from each other. Let me rename that. Let's say leg. Leg level 01. And then I can turn on the symmetry. And as you can see, there it is. Right? Next thing is the arm. So I'll add another edit poly. And after adding edit poly, let's turn off the symmetry so we can see the side references if there is any or if there are any. For now, Alt X to see it. Selecting this, deselect, oops, sorry, deselect, shift click drag, vertices, yeah. So with this is now the shoulder. Selecting the polygon for the arm. Coming out of the armpits to the middle of the middle of the bicep. And then polygons. Oops, sorry. Holding shift, dragging it. There. So I will do another something similar with what I've done with the knee. No. So I will also prepare the extrusion for bending. There. Shift click drag. 1. Shift click drag. 2. There it is. Carefully repositioning these. Polygon selection. And dragging it. 1 for vertices. Polygon or back to polygon selection. Shift, click drag. Oops. Vertex. Polygon selection once more. Getting ready for the hand. Sword. There. So now this is going to be the name, the arm 01. Now if I turn on the symmetry, so far, polygons done. Next is for the head. So I'll turn off the symmetry. Oh, so the arm is there. I'll add a new edit poly, which is going to be for the head. I'll start selecting here. So let's say it's not actually directly a neck yet. So it's like another set of muscles. So this is what I'll do. I'll select this. I'll move it a little bit. Oops. So looking at this, pag tinignan mo, tingnan natin ang sabay. Sa perspective, I'll set this to the left view. Ayan, ano. So from here, I can just adjust it. And then I can use this back vertices of the neck and raise it up a bit. Ayan, slowly. And level with this other polygon. So shift click drag. Yeah. Then just a little more. Drag here. And then here. Push this. Yeah, yeah. So it's something like that. I'll press G to turn off the grid here. Yeah. Then let's say this is going to be where the neck is going to start. Ayan, no? So I'll just select, let me push this further inside. Yeah. Polygon selection, raise it up, vertices. Now, so the neck is actually sticking out at this level. So what I can do is I'll just select edges, shift click drag, sorry, polygon, shift click drag there. And then I can just do another push. Polygon selection. Edges here. Once more. So I'm just fitting it to the reference. And mainly just making sure it's on edit poly. I mean building up the polygon. So next thing is I'll hold shift click and drag. This is to build up the face or head. I'll press R to scale because we will divide the head into two. Yan, ano? So dividing the head into two halves. So this is going to be the lower half, which is until the ear line here at the top ear line. And then I'll drag this back. This is going to be for the back of the head. So again, do not be worried about those lines or detail lines. No, because there, we are just making a low poly version of this. Yeah. And then I'll go to my once more polygon selection, shift click drag. This is going to be the top half, vertices, once more, lapse it like this. Yeah. So this is the back of the head, the lower half and the top half. lower half and top half. Now it's time to get the frontal half of it. So I'll select this and this, hold shift, click and drag. So now we have the front half of the face. With this, we can now select this polygon and, these vertices and push them back so that at least we are starting to shape up the jaw. I can also push this back like that and then push this to please shape the forehead, raise this up for the chin there, and in the front view, I can select this here. Oops, sorry. Let's say here. Say that. Oops, sorry. Um, let's flatten. We need to flatten this face a bit because as you can see, there is a back edge present there. So to flatten that, para ma-flat natin yon, I can go to perspective here, go to this side, there, go for the polygon selection, this. So I've selected all of those four, and then I'll press R for the scale, and carefully move them in there. So let's say that is what has happened to that or to those polygons. So it's flattened now. I will now select the other or the inner portion, this ones, making sure that there are no polygons once we do symmetry. Now, you have to be sure na walang polygons dyan. There should be no polygon present within the half of the symmetry. So I will press delete. Yo. I have them deleted now. So I can turn on the symmetry there. And with that selected, so this is the next thing that I will be doing. I will right click, no, rename this into head underscore 01. So this means this is a level 1 polygon. And that's it. We're done for the base of the polygon. And so what we will do next is the backing up. So I will just hold shift, click and drag here. And I will name this base mesh level 01. No? Wherein all of the polygons are in level 1. So again, the advantage of this edit poly stack, it's like modeling with layers. Modeling in layers. So what does that mean is, for example, if I turn off the symmetry, I turn off the head poly, so they start to build up. And then originally, it is just, originally it's just a box. And then if I turn on the half poly, it becomes like that. If I turn on the body, it is formed like that. So it saves those commands that are done for each of the edit polys. Symmetry. Then there it is. Okay. Now with that, I will also save a backup file, save as. I'll go to my project folder. So there's the base mesh, max, and then this is going to be the backup named level 01. Save. So in this level, Also, I will just now with my original mesh, since I already have a backup here, no, in my original mesh, what I will do is I will just collapse this. So this means I can merge all of these polygons. I can merge all of these edit polys into one big polygon only. So I can just right click this and I can choose collapse all. I'll check don't show again. I'll choose hold yes, which means to save and merge. And there it is. They are now merged together. So now they are just one polygon. And um, they are already welded or merged, the vertices. So wala na siyang butas. All are present. You can also add, let's say here, you can also add a modifier called Turbo Smooth. Turbo Smooth yan, is a smoothener. So it adds, let's check the isoline display. So it adds those edges and vertices to smoothen your work. That's what the Turbo Smooth does. No? And you can delete it also. No? It's just meant for previewing it in a smoother mode. So this is my file backup, base mesh level 01. It contains this. I'll hide it. Hide selection. And then this, the original. So what I'll just do is I'll also file save as, and I'll go to my base mesh max original. Let me first control S to save. Then file save as, base mesh max, so that I don't have to open. I'll just overwrite it since they are the same. I will be using them later on. So now the base is done. We'll continue on with the detailing parts. So I'll see you on the next video.